Hey guys, welcome back to Car Mechanic 2018. This is your boy Chief. We're coming back at you with part 8. And if you look up in the right hand corner, you'll see that I finally grinded out to level 30. And that was a hell of a grind. Let me tell you, we have almost 400,000 by doing that grind. And, lots of cases and lots of warehouse, barn finds and all that stuff. We got a whole bunch leveling up, but the important part was we upgraded our garage. Boom, 3 bays. The paint shop, vital. The dyno, I like that spot. Actually, never went down this hallway. There's nothing here. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so we got our interior cleaner, our battery charger, and most importantly is the welder. Excuse me. That's what I was trying to work on getting, because without it you can't really do much of a restore on a car. And doing repairs is fine. Which, real quick, let me just talk to you about the repairs. When you guys are trying to grind and get a high level, get your level up past say 20 or whatever it is, you want to go in here and get the jobs like this one right here. This would be a transmission job. So we take that real quick. Right, and you basically fill up your bays with the jobs as they come in. So you could do brake jobs. Sometimes I do it just to break up the monotony, however you say that word. I do some brake jobs, but mostly I'll do transmissions and exhaust all the time. Just pound, 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 and only one. Unless you have absolutely nothing else to do, only do one thing at a time. So if it's brakes, do one. Not brakes and transmission or brakes and exhaust per car, because you only get 100 and a little bit of experience per car. So you want to make sure that you're only doing one job. Don't do multiple jobs in the cars. It's a waste of time. I'm actually sick to death of doing come on. I'm sick to death of holy crap. What am I doing right here? Get rid of this car. Okay, so anyway, you would do this. See, it's struggling to find gears, and you do this real quick. It's just quick, drop the drive shaft, take off the transmission, probably change the clutch gear, the clutch, and all that stuff, and get all that stuff done. And it's really quick jobs, and like the exhaust ones are even quicker. Brakes tend to take a little longer. You usually got to take off all 4 wheels, unless you want to. Unless you want to go to the test path, it takes a little time. You don't want to do all that. You want to just, because brakes, you can usually just rip off all 4 wheels, replace all the, find out what, visually inspecting, you could see the parts that need replacing. They're really easy. And that's the same with exhaust. You can visually see what needs to be replaced. Same thing with the transmission. So that's how you're going to grind. The quickest way I found to get up to level, I was at like 22 when I was like, holy crap, man, I'm going to be here forever waiting 8 more levels to get a welder before I can actually do anything fun. To me, that's fun. I like to go to the barn, to the junkyard, find a car, bring it back, do a full resto on it, and go from there. Speaking of which, this is one of the ones I bought before. I had access to the welder, but I bought this because I love Barracudas. That's like my favorite car in the entire world. See, this is a Barracuda 426 Hemi. I have a truck. A 2012 Ram 1500. It has a Hemi in it. It's about 400 horsepower. Really cool. So, point is, I really love these cars. I love the way they look. They're sleek. They're awesome. This would be my dream car if I was going to pick something from the 70s. Or, sorry, the late 60s. In this case, this should be a 69, I think. Or 70. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and work on this car right away. So, let's move her over to... What would this be? And we'll bring our trusty welder over. I was going to wait to the end to do the welding part because also the interior cleaner. I like to do that too while I'm at it. Okay, so we'll do a little cleanup in the inside. $100, sure. And we'll hit the welder up real quick. $1,000, of course. Bam. How much nicer does that look? Okay, and then you could put... Well, you could try to put these guys back. What the hell? Okay, put that back. And put that back. Move. Okay. So Yeah, this looks a whole lot nicer. I mean, I'm not sure. It is a nice brown, but we're not going to keep it brown. I like, you know, Hemi purple, plum purple, I think they call it, for Plymouth, and Mopar, basically. Mopar orange and greens. I like some of the greens they use for Mopar. But yeah, we're going to basically renovate this thing 100%. So, because the other thing is, we can't do the mods because, real quick, I'll show you, like, I have a ton of parts for mods, for the mod cars, like the Chevy SS and the Camaro SS and the Nova SS. I have a bunch of parts for that stuff, but we can't really do anything. We can't repair the body parts yet because we got to need level 35 for that. So that's on hold. So we'll have to grind out these regular stock, you know, the game cars, which is fine. There's some fine cars that I don't mind doing in the game. I got the I got the Jeep DLC, which I didn't have before, but I wanted the off-road track to play around over there. So I had to. That's why I'm not gonna buy the Mazda. To me, $5 for 2 cars is a waste of money. I'm not gonna do that. Getting the track with the Jeep, and that was like 3 cars or something. That was okay. $5 I don't mind spending, but I just don't. You know, I'll do mods. There's plenty of mods out there I can do and not have to pay $5 for. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just. But anyway, let's get into this. Try to put this down. I know we won't make it in one video, but we're gonna work on this first. Get those out of the way. Pick some rims and tires. I don't know if we'll change the rims, but maybe we'll see. It really comes down to whether or not I have to replace the rims. If these are so shot that I have to replace them all, then I usually go ahead and grab that. I usually replace them. But anyway, my voice is a little hoarse. I think the weather. I live in Maryland right now. It's 75 degrees today in the middle of February, so pretty much the end of February. It's the 21st, but it's 75 degrees, which is really warm for this time of the year. So let me see what these. Oh, I forgot. I took out already before I was going to start the video. I took the radiator and the battery, which we can charge up right now. Usually what I do is I get another battery, and I have 2 batteries going at all times. Well, not 2, but I have one charging and ready to go. So I'll end up snatching another battery somewhere, and so I could just run over there, grab the battery off of it, and go from there. I'll hit the repair bench real quick. We could probably. Oh, what happened to the radiator? Oh, it was 10% radiator. Okay. Sell that. Okay, so these are in tough shape, actually, these rims and tires. Let me see. Separate. Oh, the rim's okay on this one. Let's see. Right, so like I was saying, what the hell was I saying? So yeah, I'll get another battery, and I'll just have one that's always charged, so I can just go over there, grab it, and then charge it, and let another one sit there charging while I'm. I actually don't. I've done that since the beginning, so I don't really know how long it takes. It might be an instant thing. You put the battery on, it's charged, and it's done. But I usually swap it. I try to do, sometimes I try to be a little bit realistic. Let's see. All these rims are repairable, so we might be able to get that going. And now we're at 95% repair, so we do pretty much all of our repairs are good. We don't fail as much as we used to, that's for sure. This is a 7%, so that one's not even worth our time. Alright, so we'll hit the repair bench real quick. Okay, let's see, did we repair 2? I think we lost one there. No, all 3. So, these are 15-inch rims, so on this, if I was going to build this car, IRL, if I was going to build this car, I would probably want to see it with like 17-inch rims. Without being too modern, 17s are kind of not too bad. So I do like the radial TA tires, but I'd definitely get wider tires or 70-inch wall height. So we could change that to like say a 40 with a 17-inch rim. Right, so let's do that. So the only question is, do I want to stick with the Atlanta rims? Look at the car real quick. This is what I do. I can try to get it from let's see. Let's look at the little picture I got of it. I don't know. Let me look at the list. Let's go into the rim department and see what we want to see here. Yeah, excuse me about all this stuff I got going on here. I'm sorry, guys. I got this. Like I was saying about the weather, that I think, my allergies are kicking in. I never had allergies until I moved the freaking. See, I like these. These are not a lot nicer looking to me. If you're gonna do like a retro look, these two aren't bad, and these are like, well, these are more like a race rim. But see, this is a Plymouth. These are the Plymouth Roadrunner, which are damn close. They might go as far as putting those on. We got a Plymouth. Yeah, it's a Plymouth Barracuda. So, see, we could realistically do these. Just 4, please. 17-inch rims. Offset. Let's put like a 20 offset. All right, let's do that. Let's do the Roadrunner rims on this. I think it'll look a little bit better than those than these joints over here. So let's just sell junk real quick. That didn't really do any good. Get some money back on these. Get some money back on these. The radial TAs. Yeah, we might stick with the TAs. I guess they're okay. We used to make those tires. I forgot. Back in the day, they were everywhere. Radial TA. That exact name was the name of the tire. I can't remember who made them. Goodyear, I want to say. Maybe Goodyear. Vintage race great rolls. These are vintage tires. These are vintage race tires. See, that's more of a race tire. I guess it's okay. Alright, 17-inch rims, and we said, what, a 40-inch height. And we're going to go definitely like a 2 1/4 width. 2700. Yeah, let's do that. See, once you learn about rim sizes, you don't have to, it's not so hard to remember anymore. Like, for example, let's take a look. Once you know you have a 17-inch rim, that doesn't change, right? So this isn't bad. Once you have a 17-inch rim, the rim size is the rim size, right? The last number on the tire right here is 17. Okay, so as long as you have the correct rim size, that you don't have to worry about. The 225 is the width of the tire. So if you have like a 300 tire, which is, for one, it'll cost you a fortune, and for two, it's that would be like a racing tire, a racing slick, or like on a 4x4 truck, you'd want a big wide tire like that. Normal range is like 160, 180s. Those are normal tires. Racing, like street racing tires, are the 200s, 2 1/4s, stuff like that. So what I have here is about a 2 1/4, and the 40 number, that's the height, the wall height of the side of the tire. So if you think about it in that aspect, and a normal, for some reason it sets this to a default 20. If you put a 20-inch tire, it looks like a bologna skin on there. It's really, really tiny, which is fine for a modern car that has, 20-inch rims. You want thin wall tires. That's the way it is these days. It looks slick and it's cool. But on an older car, you want something that has a little bit of a wall on it. You know what I mean? So that's how they used to do it. They used to have smaller rims back then. 20s were never heard of unless you owned a truck. But you want, see, like this is going to turn out just right. I'll show you. Actually, it's still a little bit thinner than it should. Yeah, we probably should have went with 50s on this, I think, maybe. But that's okay. 40. I think maybe a 60 is probably standard tire size. See, these might look, now that I kind of did this, these might look a little silly once they get on the car. It just depends. They are 17-inch rims, so that takes up some of that space, because before it was, 14s? So we added 3 inches to the rim size, so there's that, but it just depends. Depends on the car. We're gonna end up selling this car anyway, because I already built one prior when I first started playing this game. So there's no one, is it? Yep, that's it. 2 more to balance too. Way behind. I wish they got rid of that secondary accept thing, because of course I want to balance the tire. I don't need a secondary menu saying, "I'm sure you want to balance this." Like, what is the point of a secondary click? Just unnecessary. A lot of things they do that, like when you're putting on, say, calipers. You know, you have to put the caliper on, and then you have to put the piston, the caliper piston, and then it says, are you sure you want to do this? Now, I understand, in case you have some bad parts in your inventory, you don't want to put the wrong part on. But usually it picks the best part for it. So, to me, it's just a waste, an extra click that we do not need. You know, so I tend to just use the enter button all the time to spam the parts on. You know, I don't want to. If it was just 1 or 2 clicks, then I wouldn't mind. I would just click it. But 3 clicks or more, it's on my nerves. So, you know, I don't need to reassure them that. Okay, we're just gonna slap one rim on real quick just to see how it looks. Oh, you know what? Let me show you the price on this car before. Okay, so I don't know. We'll have to see it driving. We paid like wow, because I repaired the body. We paid 11 or 12,000 for this, by the way, guys. It's not too bad, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see later on when the car's all together. I think it's gonna look good, but we're selling this car anyway, so there's that. Okay, let's rip this guy apart. Okay, we're doing good. I'm gonna rip all this stuff apart. Now, if this was a car I would keep, I would probably put the upgrade parts on it, just for. I mean, it does have 426 horses right now because it's got a 426 Hemi in there. So that's pretty good right off the bat. I mean, really, actually. I don't know if you've driven a car with 400 horses, but that's a lot of fun. Like, I love my car. I can't say enough about it. It's a great truck. This has no. That didn't even have a friggin' what you call it, a fuel pump in it. So across here, leaf spring bolts. I remember these leaf spring rear ends, man. I don't know why I used to be afraid of them, because I thought, well, they kind of are. They're a little bit under pressure, so you can't just, like, if you unbolted these. These rubber bushings are bolted to the body, or the frame rather, not the body. So let's say you went and you unbolted this, right? This whole leaf spring will go snap straight down, and you could break your arm or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's under pressure. So what you usually do is jack up the rear end up, so you relieve the pressure on the leaf spring, and that way you don't kill yourself. But back in the day, and the drum brakes, man, those were fun. I remember I had for a car that had drum brakes on it. I think I had a Grand Prix, a Pontiac Grand Prix, a 70, and it had drum brakes in the back. Man, drum brakes suck, but they're cheaper than disc brakes. That's why car companies always use disc brakes in the front. But they're prone to failure because they're not very good systems. I'm trying to remember if they're hydraulic or not. I guess they are hydraulic because they have a cylinder. Let's take the drive shaft out. So they are hydraulic, but they're just. It's like hydraulic mechanic. I can't show you because I closed it down, but if you look at this is how the brakes work. So the cylinder goes right in the middle there, and it spreads the pads out, and that's supposed to stop the drums, right? Because they're on the inside. The pads are on the inside of the drums, but they're always prone to failure. They don't work very well. They're not great. Where when you have a disc, like you do on this car, most car, every car. Well, not every car. I shouldn't say that. There are cars back in the day that had drums all the way around. Like, I think actually the Jeep in here has drums in the front. But anyway, the disc, this here is the caliper. It actually pinches this rotor, the brake disc, they call it, but the rotor. So that's that's got a lot more force to stop the car than something pushing out against something, if that makes sense to you. But you also need more. I think the ratio is like 60-40 or 80-20, something like that, as far as brakes. The front brakes do that much more work than the back brakes because it has to slow the car down that way. Whereas if you had, you'd skid out all the time if you had you know, let's say equal braking in the back as the front. So, you know, that's the way they did it. With when you have calipers, yeah, when you have calipers, which is the front brake, those kind of brakes, it doesn't. It still has the same kind of 60/40 or 20/80 split, but they work a whole lot better. They're not so. You don't have to. For one, you don't have to. Back in the old days, they didn't even have power brakes. I mean, you take that for granted. That was an option back in the days. You literally physically had to use the force of your, your leg to slow your car down before power brakes came about. And that's back in this steering rod rack right here. They didn't even have power steering back then. Back in the old days, like the '57 Chevys and stuff like that, no power steering at all. So I'm not sure when that came around. That was before my time, but a lot of that stuff was. I remember driving cars without power steering, man. It was not easy, especially when you're at like a dead stop and you're trying to like turn around. Like you have to crank on that wheel, man. It was something. People take for granted what we have now for cars. Shit, I remember crank windows, man. They were like, man, you had to have like a Cadillac or something to have power windows back in the old days. Like everything had crank windows. Manual door locks too, same thing. There was no car alarms or anything like that. Yeah. See, this is not even the tough part. The ripping apart and putting back together is not the tough part at all. The tough part is buying all the parts. So that's why I like to come over here and hopefully repair most of it, so I don't have to buy too much of it. See, but look at our failure rate. There was one, but so much less than it was before. It's awesome. Just come through here and do it all. Usually I do the front. I'll do the back first, and then I'll come do the front. I kind of did it all at once right now, which kind of going to make things a little bit messy, but we'll organize by name. Yeah. This is going to be tough. Okay, well, let's start with brakes. See? I gotta go through the list. That's all we can do, right? Let's see. Parts. Brakes. Okay, so I know it was one caliper. I already forgot. Let's see. Yeah, one caliper. Okay, I did that right. Okay, and then one cylinder. Okay, and then all the way across the board with the drums and the... Okay, I think I got it. One cylinder, and then we need 2 of these, and 2 drums. And I think 2 pads, if I remember. I don't remember the shoes. For some reason, you can repair brake shoes in this game. What I like to do is delete the bad parts so there's no confusion when we go to put this stuff back on. Right, so we need 1 shoe. Okay, that's fine. Hello. So we need 1 shoe. Do we need a servo? What happened with that servo before? I know we kept... Where is that sucker? Oh, how did I do with that brake servo? Did I lose it? Huh. Interesting. Alright, we didn't get the suspension yet, so we won't mess with that. But I think I have a drive shaft in here real quick. Which is funny, because drive shafts usually always repair. We have a steering rack. Oh, grab that. No, we don't want to sell it. No, let's not grab it yet because we don't know if we need it. We got 2 steering racks. Okay, we need a drive shaft and a solid rear axle. I don't know if I needed a solid rear axle. Let me see. Put it by name. My bad. Drives, tie rods, obviously. Always need those. Oh god, this is laggy. No, we don't need any rear axles. Okay. Oh, we do need that steering rack though. I just saw that. Yeah, steering racks are 800, so I like to save those when I get them from the junkyard. Steering racks and certain parts. Let's see, so I don't get too far behind here. I remember this because I'm gonna forget it if I don't. Okay, we'll go to T, and we'll go to suspension real quick, and we need a bottom suspension arm. I hope it's an A. Yep. basically an A, not a B. Okay, so that brings us down to, oh, there's that brake servo, so we don't need that. We're good. The knuckles are good. We need one of those. Exhaust we'll take care of later. I'm not even really remotely interested. So knuckle and front wheel hub. Front steering knuckle C. Okay, T. Front steering knuckle C. And front wheel hub. I know we need a sway bar, but I don't remember if it was B or... So that... It is B. I tell you, I've never seen an A actually get used. Okay, we'll get a T and hit this real quick. And then we're gonna real quick jump over to fuel. Grab a tank. I think I have fuel pumps in my storage. Let me just see real quick. That or yep, I do. Oh, we want to sell it. Don't ask me why I'm keeping those. They're only 120 news. But okay, so that gives us those. That gets rid of that. We can get rid of this guy. We'll get our tie rods, which we're gonna need those. Why are the inners not? Okay. Right, you always need, so you need leaf spring, one leaf spring. I guess we'll do that next. Okay, so you always gonna, you can't repair the tie rod, so keep that in mind. So when you're doing a front end, you always need 1, 2 of those, and 1, 2 of those. And I believe we might as well grab these while we're here. Oops, that was the wrong goddamn shock. Oh well. Now we need this, the double wishbone. That's what I do too. I come over here and put these together while I'm sitting around grabbing parts. But I'm so used to doing this that you see how fast I can do it now. I rip through the whole thing. But if you set yours up the same way I do, you can do it pretty quick. I know that's the most tedious part is putting. See, there you go. I spam E. I mean enter and just put the parts together. So anyway, that's the most tedious part is buying. The most tedious part is buying the parts. So yeah, I try to come up with a system that allows me to do it relatively as little pain as possible. So now we got our tie rods are good. We gotta do leaf springs next, which we need 2 U bolts and 1 spring. Okay. 2 U bolts, 1 spring. Where are we? Right here. 2, and 1 spring. We didn't need plates, right? Okay. How do we do on the rear end here? I don't remember. I didn't see it. We got 2 plates. We got those. What else we gonna do there? We need 2 knuckles. These are all pretty well shot, so you can kill these. Now you can just spam this, saw them off. I'll tell you in a second. Oh no, you need. I think you need 16 and 4. Okay, 16 and 4. I was just curious. Where is our drive shaft? I mean our rear end. Did we sell our rear end? What the hell happened to it? I don't see it here. You take it off the car. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, so that's good. We don't need that. Okay. Let's do the knuckle B's. Let's get rid of that shock. Where was that? That one weird shock I bought. Front shock is over B. Don't ask me why. Okay, these 2 we can sell real quick. I know I'm kind of all over the place. Sorry about that. It's my own thinking. Rear shock is over B. Okay, we're on knuckle housing. Shit, was that C? Hate buying the wrong part. I wish it would stop going back. It's B. Okay. Okay. 1 and 2, and then I need 2 shocks over these. I don't remember. It was a leaf spring rim, so we don't need the shock absorber cap or the rear spring. That's not part of this system. Okay, so we're gonna go with rubber bushing. So I think we're gonna buy 16 of these. I think it's 4 in the back and 12 in the front. I know for a fact it's 12 in the front, but I forgot to count the ones in the back. So we need those, and we need 4 of these, the small ones. Okay, that's good. So if you had a trailing link, a link suspension in the back, you'd need the spring cap and springs and all that. But we don't need it for this one. This is a leaf spring, simpler round. Okay, so let's get caught up with where we were. Alright, still got those layers on. Okay. Kill 2 of these. Kill this one and this one. And then the steering rack. Didn't I grab a steering rack? And if I did, why is it not amongst this? Yeah, wouldn't it be out of... Wow. That's another thing. I can't believe I got that. Back to the warehouse. I know I got that. I swear, we just talked about this. I grabbed the steering rack because... I said because they're $800. Oh, maybe I sold it. That's what I probably did. I probably sold it instead of putting it into my inventory. Okay. We're approaching on 30 minutes, so we're going to have to cut this in a minute here. But we'll finish buying up these parts. Small bushing. Bushing. Steering rack. Kill that. Alright, you always need these two sway bars. I forgot about those. And we need wheel caps and wheel hub bearings. Okay. That I can remember. Real quick, we'll go into here. And these are link B's. 1, 2, I don't know why they call them hubcaps, they're bearing caps, but anyway. Okay, that's going to do it for this episode, because we don't want them to run too long. I appreciate you guys coming by and seeing our upgrade. I'm really excited about this. Now we can start, soon we'll be able to start working on the better mods and stuff, and getting you guys involved in that, which should be fun. But you know, because when you're ripping apart these cards, you get points per taking them apart and points for putting them back together. So you get a lot of points that way. It's not 100 a pop like it is on the jobs, but it's probably, I don't know how many parts are in a car, but there's quite a bit. You know, you get into the motor, start taking that apart, all that adds up. So you're probably making 200-300, which it's more time consuming, but at least it's more entertaining. So anyway, when we come back, we'll put this bad boy back together, then we'll work on the motor, maybe put some paint on it, and go from there. Okay, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Appreciate you coming by. If you like what you see, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification for updates on when I put out a new video. Leave a thumbs up and a like, or a thumbs up, whatever, and any comments down below, and I appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one, guys.